What is it?
Kufi square.
Kufi square. Everybody, you on?
Yep, you're on.
Okay.
Those things.
Can I sit there?
50 slides in 5 minutes.
50 slides.
Quickly. What do you guys see here?
A square with random shapes.
The devil!
Letters.
QR code.
Kufi square.
I give you a hint, it's broken up into 5. Anybody who knows me well knows what 5 means?
Google.
Postcode.
No.
Names. It's 5 names.
In
Arabic script.
Wow.
Okay? So that's the 5. Roughly in the same colored clothes. Okay? So this is a Kufi square. And I want to talk about Kufi squares. That means something to some people.
Sam, I am.
Kufi is a font. It's the first font the Quran was first documented. This is all online. This is all on slideshare.net, and so the links are there. And there's a lot of stuff here, basically, but let's go through. Kufi as a font was the first font that the Quran was written in. The font that you now see, the present Quran, has been developed over 200-300 years after the death of Muhammad. And in terms of just Kufi as a font, these are the various types, but I'm focusing on square Kufi. And my interest in square Kufi is because it's binary. It's 1 or 0. So it suits the digitalization. So this is a sample how the Quran would have first looked like when it first documented. Okay? And if you go into Morocco, you will see it was easy to put on tiles and in architecture. Because in Islam, they focus a lot on geometric features in their art. And this is at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. It's a stone slab. And if you see there's three panels there, and that is Allah, that's God in Arabic, right? So that's a simple Kufi square, and that's Muhammad Mim Ha Mim Dal, right? I happen to have a personal interest in Kufi squares for the last 20 years. I've been collecting these pieces, and this is done in sonket, brocade weave. All right, and I have my own blog spot. That's a bit of a close-up. Actually, I've done it in stained glass as well when I did my extension. As far as I know, it's the world's only first stained glass Kufi square.
That's
Unfortunately,
cool.
there's an error in it. And it's an interesting story, but that's another time. That's a close-up. So this is something I did in 1999. I'm a simple accountant, so I actually did this in Excel. So you just make little columns and rows, and you just color.
You're an accountant.
Unfortunately, yes.
Plenty of time to do this.
There's an error there. I transposed this from the actual document. That is Allah, God highlighted in thing. That's if you can read. Where do we start? This should be the bottom right. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahus samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And so this is what you would see normally in the Quran. That's the Arabic, that's the English translation, and that's how you turn that into a Kufi square. Now this art is 1,000 years old. It's died. This is the revival, and you're part of it. I happened to then stumble across this article in the paper some time back, and then I met the actual artist. And this guy is 55, Shukur Yahya. He has a master in fine arts. He's worked in advertising. But 10 years ago, he decided, I want to paint. Painters are interesting people, these characters. They have, he gets on a bicycle and rides from KL to Bangkok. Then he took a flight and then rode from Sydney to Melbourne and came back. So, painters, they have eccentric lives and do crazy things. That's him. And he's done interesting paintings. And what you see here, that is Al-Fatiha. Wow. That's the mother of all verses in the Quran. It's never been done in history. Right? So there's other. He's done about 30 different verses from the Quran. It takes about 3 weeks to do each. Then he paints this in a Pollock style. I don't know if you're familiar with Pollock, Jackson Pollock. That's Ali Class, which is the same version I had before, but his is slightly different. Now, interesting all these paintings. And you,
How would you know where they start?
you don't. But I think it should be in the bottom
Right.
right, and then go up to clockwise. So you've probably seen some of these logos that are already in town, right? This is now. It's interesting. This Asian Finance Bank. This is that's in Arabic, Asian Finance Bank in Arabic. I actually know the CEO, Azhari. I went to see him the other day, and I said, "Look, this is Alif, but you've got a kink there that's become a lam, so you've got an error." And then the first thing is, what the hell do you know about this? So when I sat down with him, and subsequently the people rang me up and said, yes, we actually have an error. But we spent too much on the logo, it's all over town. So you guys haven't noticed, it doesn't matter. That's the Islamic Art Museum, and the Islamic Art Museum does have a Kufi square as their logo. Well, they're not in a square, they start here and go that way. So there's no real rules to any of this. If any of you live in Bukit Jelutong, that's been there a long time. Very cute, right? Near the where there's the big white waves.
Any idea what it says?
That's Ali Class.
Ali Class.
Ali Class. The same one I had in my stained glass. This version of Ali Class is about 1,000 years old, so it's in the public domain. What Shukoyaya has done is all new. That's interesting. Very cool.
Lego Kufi squares.
It's the world's first Lego Kufi square.
Wow. Wow. Is that your key?
Yeah. And then this is the world's first Kufi square and a Kufi square.
Recursion!
So I'm now going to do this in the world's first Kufi square and a Kufi square in a Kufi square. The other challenge is to build it with Kufi. If you search online for Kufi, Kufi is the African word for the skull cap.
Skull cap, right.
So doing a Kufi out of Kufis is my next project. Now that would be cool.
Wow.
This is like that's a QR code.
Oh, this is a QR code.
So the first person to do a Kufi square out of wheat fields is going to be interesting.
Was that done by aliens by any chance?
If you there's the URL. So if you QR that, you actually go to takes you somewhere.
Is it on Google Earth yet? Can you see on Google Maps?
I think that was the intention. I don't know whether it's there. Next idea is
Oh,
talk about a
light
building.
system.
Because it's binary, right? Just on off on off on off. So you could do interesting things. Now, town planning, right? There's actually this here is actually calligraphy.
No kidding.
So but that's not a Kufi script. That's in a different script. Right? So I'm trying to set some challenges. We've got about 30 verses of the Quran. There's 6,400 in total. So Shukoyaya has to live 6,000 years to be able to do the rest. So we're going to evangelize and try and find people get an interest in Kufi art, and then try and do the rest of the Quran. Yeah, using Web 2.0 technology, social networking. So it's basically Painter 2.0. If you think our musicians have been impacted by the digital age, your painter has not. Painters still paint, put in art gallery, hope to sell. Right? So we're thinking of how this is going to work. Mobile downloads, wallpaper, merchandising. So Kufi.com is gone. So Kufi, we thought. Why is it Kufi times Kufi? That's a Kufi square, right? Brilliant. So we're thinking about wallpaper, graphics, prints, reproductions, originals. Kufi.com is coming if we get around to it. Help, we want to think mobile ideas, graphic design, ideas, merchandising, branding, distribution, evangelists, volunteers. One of the good things about this is not attracting to non-Muslims. Right? It's modern art, right? Whereas traditional calligraphy is very, it's like Chinese calligraphy. So this is to me, no, it's open to everybody. That's me. Thank you.